My name is Richard Reynolds and I'm a guerrilla gardener, which means I illicitly cultivate someone else's land without asking. And that land, for me, is public land and it's otherwise neglected land. We are on the top floor of a 1960s council tower block in the Elephant and Castle. This is my home and I've been in this building for 5 years. And nearly 5 years ago is when I began guerrilla gardening. This is the location I first guerrilla gardened back in October 2004, and it has matured and it's packed full of a lot of fragrant plants. So we've got the sage, lemon geranium, stocks, and the cordyline has a really pungent, sweet smell. So it's an antidote to the urination problem that plagues the front door of our tower block. I'd moved in May, and throughout the summer, when the gardens should have been at their best, nothing was being done. They were just becoming more overgrown and as a result more litter strewn, and it was just depressing and embarrassing and frustrating. This is really easy and the rose is thriving because the air pollution down here is so great. The black spot that plagues plants elsewhere is not too bad, although actually I can see a little that needs clearing. And what began as a project that would be my gardening activity in a way of beautifying the local neighbourhood turned into an activity that actually introduced me to far more of my neighbours and introduced them to the idea of helping me out a bit. And with that success and my blogging about it, I began to take on other locations. One's eyes are opened when you start gardening in this way to the potential all over the place. We are standing on the north roundabout of the Elephant and Castle, a future massive redevelopment zone, an area that Bill Clinton has said will become a vision of eco-urbanism. But at the moment it's not an eco-urbanism vision at all, except perhaps for this patch here, which is a small, relatively new guerrilla garden. This one's about a year old. It's the only location where I've been threatened with arrest for gardening, which to me is nonsense because we're not obstructing any traffic or pedestrians. It's no reason at all, really. Anyway, it didn't stop us. We carried on, and it's thriving. Most of the landscape here is just what I call London scrub. It's grass and weeds on very compacted mud. So we cut out this bed along the edge here, and we've planted this with wallflowers or breccia, both of which don't need watering. And Lollo Rossa lettuces, disguised amongst the florals to provide a piece of fresh local produce. It's all right, it's a bit gritty, but we've been enjoying this for the past couple of weeks. In the other direction, up St George's Road, is the largest guerrilla garden that I have been associated with. So 4 years ago, over 4 nights, a group of about 20 of us cleared away that top layer, took that to the dump, and then planted in over 200 of these lavender plants and a mixture of shrubs, and more recently some swathes of mange tout and cabbages as well. And it's a revenue stream now, which was never the plan, but the lavender has to be cut back at the end of the summer anyway. It thrives from that. So we dry out the lavender and then stuff those into screen printed pillows, which we sell for a good price, and then that fills up the coffers to be able to pay for more of the plants. Guerrilla gardening is very much tangible, ongoing, long-term environmental activism. Putting plants in a place where they shouldn't be is of appeal to those with a primary political motivation and to artists as well. But in that context, the gardening activity itself does take a sort of second billing. My gardens and the gardens that other guerrilla gardeners do are entertaining and more thought-provoking, but it's subtler because the gardens need to survive and grow and do their part, and that for me is of greater satisfaction. I do it like anyone with their own garden would, because it's fun.